If you knew you were going to go blind, what would you want to see while you still could? With time running out, before she lost her sight forever, a woman in Rochester, New York, took a risk and experienced something that should have been impossible. Josie Paley has always worked hard to hide her disability. Few people ever knew she had a vein occlusion and had completely lost sight in one eye at the age of 16.
The very first doctor I went to, he said to me, 2 eyes are a luxury and 1 is a necessity. So I thought about that a lot, and it's true. So to me, all the damage, unless I made mention of my condition, no one knew that I had no vision in my left eye.
But at age 44, Josie suddenly began having problems with her good eye.
I noticed these flashes in my right eye. It appeared to be like someone was taking a picture. The flashlight or flash bulbs were going off.
Josie immediately had her eye checked by a top specialist who confirmed that a vein occlusion was forming in her other eye.
The specialist looked at my eyes for what appeared to be hours. In reality was maybe 1 hour. And he helped me sit up from the table. And almost in a whisper, he said to me, "You must prepare yourself for total blindness. The condition in your left eye has now gone over to your right eye." Humor sustained me for a couple of days, just because I probably refused to think about it. And then my second reaction was that of silence, contemplation, and soul searching. What was the most important thing to me in my life? And if I was going to go totally blind, what did I want out of life? What was important to me?
Josie broke the bad news to her close-knit family.
I began to feel quite concerned and actually quite sad. We knew that she was losing her vision, and I really didn't know what to say or do.
A few weeks later, Josie and Peter were at a skydiving exhibition when Peter suddenly had an idea.
I had been skydiving before, and I remember the feeling and how exhilarating it was. And I thought to myself, this would be something for her. She would have something etched in her mind. If she does go blind, she'd still be able to see this moment. So I just turned to her and said, "Jojo, you can do this. I mean, you have the courage to do this. Why don't you skydive?"
And at the precise moment he said that, I saw a vision of myself leaving the airplane. But it frightened me so much that I just totally discounted it. And that these words seemed to come out. They were not even like my words. And I looked at him and I said, "Pete, I need a sign from God. If Dad is home, then God wants me to do this."
But Josie knew something Peter did not. Their father was supposed to be out of town.
I thought to myself, what am I getting worried about? Dad's not home. I don't have to do this. So a sense of relief came over me. When my dad answered the phone, I screamed. I was frightened. And I just screamed. I didn't say anything to him.
Josie attended a 4-hour skydiving course, pulled on a jumpsuit, and joked with Peter and her instructor. But inside, she was terrified. Peter hired a cameraman to videotape her first jump as a present for Josie's children and grandchildren. Josie was scheduled to jump last.
When I got to the door, if this man was not attached to me, I don't believe that I would have been able to just leave the airplane. It was frightening. He left and I was attached to him. I mean, I didn't have a choice at that point. And I was traveling at 120 or 125 miles an hour. My body was circling around. My stomach hurt. And then I remember the cameraman was coming down with us, and I'm thinking, this is the most terrible thing. My children are going to see my death. So I wanted to try to give them some sign to let them know that I love them. So I started doing the 3s with my fingers to let them know that I love them. At about 5 to 10 seconds, I heard this large pop in my head. And then this excruciating pain, my whole head. It just was very, very loud, and there was a lot of pain. And then the next thing I knew, he was tapping me on my hip to pull my ripcord. It was the best 10 minutes of my life. A very good feeling came over me, a serene feeling. I was grateful for life. I just felt like I should be thanking God for things, and just, I was very happy.
She did a great stand-up landing, didn't fall or anything. And everybody was clapping. I guess she was really proud of herself. And the first thing she said was, something happened to my eye.
I heard it popping up there. Joe!
Josie's instructor told her it was just her ears popping violently from the rapid descent. Since she had never skydived before, she believed him.
When I woke up the next morning, I sat up in bed, and my room appeared larger, and it appeared brighter. It was like something was different. And unconsciously, I covered up my right eye, and I saw everything in the room. The entire day, I was obsessed with what had happened, and I just kept covering up both eyes, one at a time. I would cover the left eye, and I'd be able to see. I'd cover up the right eye, I'd be able to see. I would run up and down the stairs. I was obsessed for the entire day. I knew something miraculous had happened.
Josie called up Peter to break the good news.
And I said, Pete, something happened. Something really happened yesterday when I told you I heard that loud pop. Something happened to me. Pete, I could see.
I didn't know if I actually believed her or if it was something that she was imagining. And that's why I suggested that she see the doctor.
Once again, Josie had extensive tests done on her eyes.
The test revealed, when they came back, that there was a dramatic difference in the condition in both of my eyes. There was no more bleeding. It was all gone. Everything had disappeared.
Doctors could only theorize that a rapid change in pressure might somehow affect the blockage in the vein that was causing her blindness.
I think it's time you follow your heart. Life is just too short for fooling oneself. No time like now to make a new start.
I know a miracle happened that day. I know personally that a miracle happened that day.